You did not go into debt all at once. You went into debt 4 payments at a time. That is the quiet power of buy now pay. Later, it does not make the thing cheaper, it makes the pain smaller. A $160 purchase becomes $40 today. A flight becomes 4 little withdrawals. A laptop becomes a monthly line you barely notice. But your calendar notices, your checking account notices, and future you notices first. This is not a ladder of income, it is a ladder of fragmentation. First split payment, multiple apps, payment stacking fees, and pressure, then invisible debt. The question is not whether BNPL is evil. The question is how many future invoices can you create before you lose sight of the total? Let's start with the first split payment. Stage 1, the first split payment. Your debt still feels optional. You are in Miami standing at checkout with a pair of sneakers in your hand. The price is $160. Not impossible, not crazy, but your checking account has $212 in it and payday is still a few days away. The cashier turns the screen toward you. Debit card, $160 today. Buy now pay, later $40 today. The difference is emotional before it is financial. You tap, pay in 4. The screen gives you a clean confirmation. 4 payments, no interest, no long application, no awkward conversation with a bank. The cashier says, most people split it, and that sentence makes it feel normal. You walk out with the sneakers, but only $40 has left your account. The remaining $120 does not feel like debt yet. It feels like a technicality, a future detail, something your next paycheck will handle. That is the first dopamine discount. The product is the same, the price is the same, but the pain has been edited. You did not reduce the cost. You reduced the moment when the cost became real. At this stage, debt still wears the costume of convenience. Stage 2, multiple apps, multiple futures. Your calendar starts carrying your purchases. The sneakers worked, nothing bad happened, so the next checkout feels even easier. You buy AirPods for $232. Afterpay shows $58 today. You tap it. You book a Miami to Dallas flight for $348. PayPal Pay in 4 shows $87 today. You tap it. You find a couch for your apartment. $640 up front feels too heavy, but $160 today feels reasonable. You tap it. Then comes the laptop. $1,104 is too much for one swipe, but Affirm shows $92 a month. You tell yourself it is for work. You tap it. A birthday gift appears 2 weeks later. $180 becomes $45 today. You tap it. Nothing looks reckless. Nothing looks dramatic. Each purchase has a reason. Then the due dates arrive. The 3rd, the 8th, the 11th, the 17th, the 24th. One app sends a reminder. Another sends an autopay confirmation. Another says your next payment is tomorrow. Your inbox becomes a small archive of future invoices. A $58 payment does not scare you. An $87 payment does not scare you. A $45 payment barely feels worth thinking about. But 5 small payments inside one pay cycle start behaving like rent. This is the second stage, not bigger spending, but wider fragmentation. The problem is no longer what you bought. It is how many versions of future you have already built. Stage 3, payment stacking month. Your income fluctuates. Your due dates do not. This month's sales are slow. Your commission is not gone, but it is $1,400 lower than last month. You tell yourself it will recover. You have had weak months before. You are not unemployed. You are not broke. But the calendar does not care about your explanation. Monday. Afterpay pulls $58 for the AirPods. Tuesday, PayPal pulls $87 for the flight. Wednesday, Klarna pulls $160 for the couch. Thursday, Affirm pulls $92 for the laptop. Friday, another $45 leaves for the birthday gift. That is $442 in 5 days. Your checking account started the week at $146. So you move $300 from savings. You delay a $63 gas refill. You cancel a $78 dinner and say, "I'm just waiting for commission to hit." You check your banking app 3 times before lunch, not because anything has changed, but because checking gives you the illusion of control. The app does not say disaster, it says pending. Pending transaction, pending paycheck, pending retry, pending relief. That is what makes this level confusing. You are not in one obvious crisis. You are in a timing collision. A high-income month made the purchases feel manageable. A low-commission month makes the same purchases feel heavier. Cash flow stress does not care about annual income. This is where BNPL changes shape. It stops being a checkout feature and becomes a second calendar running beside your real life. BNPL is not automatically destructive. Some people use it a few times a year, track every payment, and treat it like a short-term cash flow tool. That can be rational. The danger begins when every emotional purchase becomes a future invoice, and every future invoice becomes part of your normal budget. The middle level may be the warning, not the failure. You do not need to hit bottom to change the pattern. Stage 4. Fees, retries, and credit patches. Now the fragments start colliding. You wake up and open your banking app before getting out of bed. Your checking account has $41. One BNPL autopay tries to pull $62. Failed. The notification lands first. Then the email. Payment unsuccessful. A second email follows, action required. A third app reminds you that another payment is due tomorrow. The numbers are small, but the sequence is not. Your bank adds a $35 overdraft fee. The BNPL app adds an $8 late fee. The same payment will retry in 3 days. And now, you still owe the original $62. So you use your credit card to cover it. The card gets approved. Approved at 27.4% APR. That is the reveal. Nobody likes to admit you used debt to rescue a different form of debt. Not because you had a grand strategy, because you wanted the red notification to disappear, because you wanted one app to stop asking, because you wanted the feeling of being behind to end for one afternoon. This is where shame enters the cycle. You stop opening every reminder. You swipe notifications away. You tell yourself you will sort it out after the next paycheck. But the due dates keep moving. The retries keep coming. The small amounts keep asking to be treated as separate problems. The late fee is not the real cost. The real cost is losing control of the map. At this level, the debt is no longer hidden from your bank account. It is hidden from your attention. Stage 5, invisible debt. You no longer know the total. Not because the numbers are impossible to find, because they are not in one place. You open Klarna, then Afterpay, then Affirm, then PayPal, then your banking history, then your email search bar. You type payment reminder. The results keep coming. $58 due Friday, $92 due Monday, $160 next week, $45 in 2 days. A credit card minimum of $412. A retry from 3 days ago. A return that still has not processed. A pending purchase you forgot was split. You count 14 active payments. The visible total is $1,870. But even that number does not feel final, because one app shows remaining balance, another shows next installment, another shows monthly payment, and another hides the original purchase behind a merchant name you barely recognize. Was the couch Klarna or Afterpay? Is the flight done after this payment or the next one? Is the laptop monthly for 12 months? Or did you choose a shorter plan? You are not careless. You are overloaded. Nothing here looks like one giant financial mistake. That is why it lasted this long. It came as fragments. It came as small approvals. It came as friendly buttons under checkout screens. And now your future paycheck is already crowded before it arrives. You are not overwhelmed by one debt. You are overwhelmed by unfinished transactions. And then you reach another checkout screen. At the beginning, it was a pair of sneakers. $160 total. Pay only $40 today. That was the entire pitch. Not lower cost, lower immediate pain. Now the same pattern lives everywhere else. 14 active payments. $1,870 in fragmented obligations, a $35 overdraft fee, an $8 late fee, a credit card filling gaps at 27.4% APR. At the beginning, you thought you were splitting a purchase. What you really split was visibility. That is why BNPL feels so manageable in the moment. Your brain tracks each payment separately, but your stress collects them together. One withdrawal feels harmless. 5 inside the same week feel different. Not because your life collapsed overnight, but because future versions of you kept receiving invoices from decisions that already felt finished. So before your next checkout, do 3 things. Write every BNPL payment in one place. Calculate how much of your next paycheck is already spent. Remove your saved payment methods for 1 week. Then, look at the screen again. Pay only $12 today. Debt becomes dangerous when it stops looking like debt.